Hi all, welcome to this video of Cloud Computing, an extension to Internet Technologies by Kirtana from Sri Venkateswara College of Engineering. So in this video, you will go through the following contents. Introduction. What is cloud computing? Well, coming on to the introduction of cloud computing is defined as storing and accessing of data and computing services over the internet. It doesn't store any data on your personal computer. It is the on-demand availability of computer services like servers, data storage, networking, databases. Some of the examples of cloud computing services may include AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, etc. Cloud computing has evolved as a key computing paradigm, allowing for ubiquitous, simple on-demand access to a shared pool of configurable computing resources through the internet. Cloud computing technology will be at the heart of every strategy to attain the aims in new normal. The main purpose of cloud computing is to give access to data centers to many users. Also, users can access data from a remote server. Now, moving to the next part, that is early stages of internet technology. In the early 1960s, we had the ARPANET, which was established by the Advanced Research Project Agency of the US Department of Defense. The whole idea was executed by sharing information using several computers. It was the first wide area packet switch network with a shared control and also one of the primary channels to execute the TCP/IP protocol suite. In the later years, there was a formulation of TCP, IP, and worldwide development of networks. However, these were different protocols for communication between host computers, so inter-network connection was still a challenge. In later years, several networks worldwide started replacing their existing protocols with TCP/IP, which opened the horizons for the expansion of the network. Another thing that accelerated the expansion of the internet was the development of more wide area networks like CSNet and NSFNet in the late 1980s. This growth, along with the widespread acceptance of TCP or IP, led to intercontinental connection in the later years. This growth, along with the widespread acceptance of TCP or IP, led to continental connection in the later years. In the early 1990s, email and FTP were the two significant applications over the internet back then. Its primary use was confined to resource and academic purposes. Today, the world internet is almost synonymous with the web, that is websites, web applications, mobile apps, and anything that runs on HTTP protocol. Moving on to emergence of cloud computing. The modern day idea of cloud computing dates back to 1950s when large-scale frameworks were made available to schools and corporations. The mainframe's colossal hardware infrastructure was installed in what could be called as a server room. The modern idea of cloud computing dates back to 1950s when large-scale mainframe frameworks were made available to schools and corporations. Multiple users were able to access the mainframe via dumb terminal stations with the sole function of facilitating access to the mainframes. 20 years later, in the 1970s, IBM released an operating system called VM that permitted admins on its system to have multiple virtual systems or virtual machines on a single physical node. Most of the basic functions of any virtualization software that you see nowadays can be tracked back to this early VM. Meanwhile, virtualization for PC-based systems started in earnest. As the internet became more accessible, the next logical step was to take virtualization online. Creation of a virtual machine over existing operating system and hardware is known as hardware virtualization. As we see in this diagram, a virtual machine provides an environment that is logically separated from the underlying hardware. The machine on which the virtual machine is going to create is known as host machine, and the virtual machine is referred to as the guest machine. The further emergence of cloud computing, a system could portray the full environment's resources as they were in a single physical node by installing the configuration, a piece of software known as hypervisor, across several physical nodes. Technologists utilize phrases like utility computing and cloud computing to describe such environment. Controlling the data flow in the virtual machine is managed by the hypervisor. Data flow and networking into virtual machine is looked upon and stored in the data center. Also, hypervisor acts as a storage center where the data is stored virtually. Hence, physical storage is not expected for virtual machines. A storage pool is created where we can store any amount of data coming from the virtual machines. As a result, now it is simple to communicate with home appliances, hail a cab with a mobile device, and rent a holiday room in someone's home. The first cloud computing type, what we're going to discuss in the emergence of cloud computing is prior to the widespread adoption of cloud computing, companies and regular computer users were typically required to purchase and maintain the software and hardware they wish to use. Businesses and consumers now have access to a variety of on-demand computing resources as internet access services because to the rising availability of cloud-based apps, storage, services and devices. As a result, it is now simple to communicate with home appliances, hail a cab with a mobile device, and rent a holiday room in someone's home. Moving on to advancement in cloud computing. The advancement of cloud computing is so vast that it has led to various deployment models. Cloud computing types are service deployment models that let you choose the level of control over your information and types of services that you need to provide. There are three main types of cloud computing services, sometimes called the cloud computing stack, because they build on top of one another. As shown in the diagram, it is IaaS, that is Information as a Service, PaaS, Platform as a Service, and SaaS, Software as a Service. Now, let's brief out on each of these. The first cloud computing type is Infrastructure as a Service, which is used for internet-based access to storage and computing powers. The most basic category of cloud computing types, IaaS, lets you rent IT infrastructure, servers, and virtual machine storage networks and operating system from a cloud provider on a pay-as-you-go basis. The second cloud computing type is Platform as a Service that gives developers the tools to build and host web applications. PaaS is designed to give users access to the components they require to quickly develop and operate web or mobile applications over the internet without worrying about setup or managing the underlying infrastructure of servers, storage, networks, and databases. The third cloud computing type is a software as a service, which is used for web-based applications. SaaS is a method for delivering software applications of the internet where cloud providers host and manage the software applications, making it easier to have the same application on all of your devices at least by accessing it in the cloud. As an advancement to cloud computing is increasing drastically, they are also divided into various types: public cloud, private cloud, and hybrid cloud. Public cloud. Users over the internet use cloud services in which the infrastructure is based on the cloud computing company. However, the public cloud is not secure and organizations with sensitive information are not ought to use this cloud. The information is available for everyone who uses the cloud. Private cloud. The cloud infrastructure is located inside the organization and is not shared with anyone without the permission of the organization is called the private cloud. We can say private cloud is most secure among all the deployment models. Customization, scaling, and flexibility control is higher in the private cloud. Hardware and software are built only by the owner. Hybrid cloud. The combination of private and public deployments is called the hybrid cloud. Organizations have the advantage of public cloud while doing heavy workloads, and the information is secure as private cloud is incorporated within the same. Advancement in cloud computing can also be explained in the form of evolution of cloud computing. Cloud computing is all about renting computing services. The idea first came in 1950s. In making cloud computing what is today, 5 technologies played a vital role. These are distributed systems and its peripherals, virtualization, Web 2.0, service orientation, and utility computing. Not only there was an evolution with various emergence of trends, even the advancement has led to increasing storage capacity. As according to the diagram what we see, in the early 1950s, it started all with the distributed computing, mainframe computing, and thereby it has improved to cluster computing, grid computing, virtualization, Web 2.0, service orientation, and in the later of 2000s it started with Web 2.0, service orientation, utility computing, and cloud computing. The advancement in cloud computing has contributed to many advantages like scalability, security, accessible to modern technology, cheaper and mobility with increase in speed and agility. Also, along with this, there are many major advantages like automated application deployments and data backups. Managing the deployment of new code, security patches, data backup, and disaster recovery plans are crucial tasks for a software development company and should not be taken lightly. Reduce and streamline IT infrastructure costs. By adopting cloud services, you can say goodbye to the costly need to purchase servers that require expert installation, regular maintenance, and full replacement every few years. Continually available infrastructure. The virtualized servers and cloud computing companies do not rely on specific hardware, so they are always available to your users via office computers, remote laptops, or on mobile devices. Benefit from massive economics of scale. By using cloud computing, you can achieve a lower variable cost that you can get on your own. Moving on to cloud computing and digital transformations. In order to be competitive and to bring an added value to the company, each company should embrace the digital transformation process when required to upgrade their old IT infrastructure into a new one. Beyond adopting cloud solutions, a company should integrate new forms of technology that speed up, automate, and improve businesses such as artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data analytics, and Internet of Things, that is IoT, etc. Considering these technologies require heavy computational power and storage space, cloud computing comes as a solution to integrate these technologies. As per the diagram, we can have a short brief note on how cloud computing technology involves in various technologies. So it involves in artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, big data, robotics, machine learning, and many more. Moving on to further cloud computing and digital transformation. As a consequence of the world's digitalization, users' behavior is changing too. This is why companies need to evolve and adapt to its digital environment. Companies should exploit the advantages of cloud computing to set up robust digital transformation frameworks. Also, cloud enables innovations by giving a compatible set of APIs, that is, application programming interface for developers. Cloud provides analytics, functional programming, and low-code platforms. It could be essential for informed decision making. This enables a company to launch enterprise-ready products rapidly. Digital transformation is crucial for making the differences in the competitive scenario, for enhancing customer experience and usability, for innovating the company itself by increasing business values. Moving on to further cloud computing and digital transformation, companies are now switching the current public cloud model to a new one. They are adopting a hybrid cloud composed of a mix of private and public cloud. This form enables organizations to achieve regularity, compliance, ensure data supremacy, cost optimization, and reinforce data security. Hybrid cloud is able to speed up apps and service delivery. In this way, businesses can combine on-premise systems with an external cloud service provider to get better efficiency and operational performance. Moreover, customers can manage applications both on-premises and in the public cloud. Aiming to become agile with new technologies, integration should be a company priority in this new digital era. It can be possible by migrating to a cloud environment. So this picture depicts how the computing deployment models, or the types of different computing models is leading to the digital transformation in which it enhances uh, the companies to have a better profits, in which the public cloud is further divided into hybrid cloud, in which it is private and as secure, and it can be used only by the people who have access to these networks. While we discuss all of the above, all of the mentioned topics, we also have to discuss challenges and risks of cloud computing. So, some of the challenges and risks of cloud computing may include data security and privacy. The biggest concern with cloud computing is data security and privacy. As organizations adopt the cloud on a global scale, the risks have become more grave than ever, with lot of consumer and business data available for hackers to breach. Reduced visibility and control. Cloud computing offers the benefit of not having to manage the infrastructure and resources like servers to keep the systems working. Cloud migration. Cloud migration means moving your data, services, applications, systems, and other information or assets from on-premises, that is servers or desktops, to the cloud. This process enables computing capabilities to take place on the cloud infrastructure instead of on-premise devices. Lack of expertise. Cloud technologies are rapidly advancing and more services and applications are being realized to cater to different needs. However, it is also being difficult for organizations to find skilled professionals to maintain the cloud systems. It is also costly for small and medium-sized business to hire expert cloud professionals. By this, we come to the end of this video. Also, for these informations, I have referred to following IEEE papers. Thank you. Hope you liked it. Please share, like, and subscribe.